And look who I found, another curly-haired forager.
Howdy.
Got Michael coming to visit us. He spent all day driving, got lost, made it here eventually.
I'm here finally.
And we're just gathering some things for dinner. So how have you been finding the Wild Biome project so far?
It's been a challenge, as always, like it was last time. Physically, not as much of a challenge. It almost felt like my body had some recollection of that food that I was eating again, and I settled back into it a lot quicker. Mentally, it's been more of a struggle because second time round it's not quite the thrill that it was the first time round, so it feels a little bit more like hard work, but it's good because there are new lessons to be learnt. I think the gloss has gone off the project, and I think maybe that's when the real learning begins. And but as I did last time, I'm now we're halfway through, and it's really settling, and I'm really relishing the food again. I'm not really thinking about the food and the taste that are quite forgotten now. And it thank you, train. And it's feeling good. I've lost a bit of weight. I feel healthy. I feel vital and vibrant and authentic again, which is something I remember from last time, that feeling of authenticity, of actually sort of putting your money where your mouth is and actually doing the job that you teach about. So it's my highlight. Well, I went fishing recently. I went net fishing on tidal net fishing on the coast, and although it wasn't a big haul of fish, did catch some amazing things. So I think probably on the day we got back from fishing, I made myself some crab dumplings. So I had a bit of a breakthrough with Alexander roots and purifying starch out of them.
Which, you and Hetty had.
We had a bit of a deep dive into Alexander's as folks like us do, and just got this stuff that's basically like tapioca starch. It's nuts, and I just mixed it up with crab meat and steamed it, and they were just absolutely lush, and crab soup and stuff. So a proper seafood platter that day. That was got to be the highlight.
Amazing. And last time you were known for doing some pretty crazy things, like eating a mouse, eating a fox.
I think I've dialed it down a bit. Last time there was slime mould and finches and woodpeckers and all sorts. I did start off with a pole.
We should probably note that you didn't kill
them. They were legitimately found. I started off with a polecat ferret.
How did that taste?
As you would imagine, a ferret might taste. Pretty musty. It wasn't. It definitely wasn't my favourite. It probably again wasn't a good start to the project. I won't be repeating it, but I picked it up out of curiosity and then thought I can't waste this opportunity to eat a polecat ferret. So it was a dark, dense and deeply musty flesh.
When we go on the wild food diet, we tend to kind of like go deeper into certain plants, like we had things we went into last year. Obviously Alexander's is something you've gone deep diving in this time. Is there anything else that you've developed a deeper connection with?
I've been a bit lazy, and it always challenges, for me, the Wild Biome project always challenges the idea that as humans we eat a huge variety of stuff all the time, and it makes me think that we probably ate a huge variety of stuff but over a prolonged period of time, because I feel that in essence humans probably haven't changed that much. So the things I've been really enjoying, I mean, reed mace when that was in season, really enjoying that. The classic things like watercress and lots of good green vegetables. But Alexander's is the one, as you say, that really took my imagination, and again fired up with my great friend Hetty. Sort of working with them to reduce the flavour, which is really, really intense. They're such an amazing and abundant food source, but you only really want, personally I only want the flavour in small amounts. So working on reducing the intensity of the flavour, and then an accidental amazing byproduct of that, getting that amazing starch out of it, which is just a fantastic carbohydrate source. And I think that's what blew me away, is finding a reliable, abundant source of carbohydrate at this time of year.
This is something I have to capture really quickly. We have Alexander root pork, what do you call them? Prawn cracklings?
Prawn crackers.
Prawn crackers.
Yeah, so this is purified Alexander's starch, and then cooked and dried and then fried in tallow, and you get these amazing crackers coming out.
That is
and
crazy.
I've got some like crab seasoning that I'm going to sprinkle over it. Just dried brown meat of crab with a bit of salt whizzed into it. When are we allowed to eat?
You're hungry now?
Yeah.
It's really crazy actually, isn't it? Because we went and foraged all these different things and there's massive amount of greens and it's turned into
it's always astounding how little it becomes.
So we've got some chestnut and acorn patties with some common hogweed, wild garlic and nettle. And with some of your crab
magic crab powder as well.
Yeah,
in there.
And then we've got some. What did you think it was? Dogfish.
Yeah, dogfish or smooth hound. I can't remember which one.
Just fried up in a bit of tallow. So we've got a bit of land and sea here.
Excellent.
Yeah, let's dig in.
Oh, no.
There's your broken one.
All right, I'll eat my failed one.
Let's see.
It's really good. Reminds me of an onion bhaji, actually, the texture.
Doesn't it?
That is very good.
It's always funny because we always plan to do something simple and then suddenly we end up kind of taking it to the next level on the meetups.
No, it's really good. Very good. That's probably more carbs than I've eaten for a long time. Until pudding.
Until pudding. Yeah, we've got some plans. Yeah, something I forgot to mention when we were in the woods earlier was that when you said something about with your food and you were gathering everything that was like that you could just get easily, you were just focusing on a few specific things. But we always keep going back to this, like when you're in a tribe, everyone's gathering their specific thing.
Yeah.
So when it's a big group of people, we end up actually bringing all of that together.
Yeah, pooling the resources. Like we were saying at the meetups, you just naturally get huge diversity because everyone brings their little speciality or the thing that's easy for them, but all combined it means that we're eating good, diverse amount of stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's what it's all about.
And this was the fish. I haven't had a bit yet. The last time I had something like this was dogfish that fishermen kind of gathered. And they gave it to me. They were fishing on the shore. I only got one mackerel and they had 2 dogfish. Yeah. But I just cooked it straight up and I was forcing myself to eat the urine taste. It wasn't great.
Yeah, you do need to let it mature a little bit. But yeah, fishermen don't really like dogfish very much. They're quite tricky to skin.
Just one thing that Miles taught me was to just stick it in the oven and the skin cools right off.
I mean, bake it whole. Yeah.
And the skin literally just flakes off.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I think often I'm processing quite a lot of them, and so I'm putting them in the freezer. So it's quite useful to have them processed down. But yeah, I can see.
Well, you can do it whole from the freezer.
Yeah, there's a limited space in my freezer. There's a lot of roadkill, a lot of fish, a lot of creatures that reside in my freezer.
So what were your plans anyway? You were just stopping by, weren't you? You were going up to the Scottish Food Festival.
Yeah, I'm in transit to the Scottish Wild Food Festival near Glasgow. And it was high time to pay you a visit after many years of intending
After saying yes, come along.
Yeah. So yes, thank you for having me.
You can really taste the crab in those.
It brings a real richness, creaminess to everything. That's a lot richer than I've been eating generally.
And what have you been eating normally?
Well, my standard fare is broth soup, so slow cooked venison, and then just using the broth and some flake meat, dried mushrooms, greens, and a bit of my acorn tofu stuff. That's my standard fare. Lots of fish. Yeah, and the other standard thing on wild biome is always, isn't it, just a piece of fish or meat and a big pile of vegetables, and that's a fairly standard meal as well.
I mean, that's the recommended thing anyway, isn't
it? Yeah.
Have your greens and your...
Yeah. Loads of greens, a little bit of protein, a little bit of carbs.
Acorn tofu.
Yeah.
How do you make this?
So this is a result of my sort of speed leaching method, which I use for acorns. So I shell acorns and then I blitz them in a food processor, but then I put them in a stone grinder, which is or a wet stone grinder, which is basically like a mechanised pestle and mortar, and grind them down to really fine consistency. Dump them in a bucket with water, leave it to settle out for about 12 hours, and then I pour off most of the water, refresh the water, and then another 12 or 24 hours, depending on how much of a hurry I'm in. I pour off the water and then I strain the acorn solids through a cloth, and then the stuff that I have left in the cloth I pack into a container and steam it, and this is the result, this kind of acorn jelly, I suppose you'd call it, but I call it tofu, because I think it's the closest way I can describe it. But it's good. It's a bland, really smooth, nicely textured carbohydrate, which is something which felt like quite a breakthrough on my last wild biome project. It's the way I get my daily calories, because it can be used a bit like noodles or something like that. I strip it up and put it in soups and fry it like this to crisp it. It works, sweet or savoury. So yeah, it's a very, very useful product.
So you had this amazing acorn tofu, and then you said it's quite tasteless.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, why not make a sauce? So I got some of my special mulberry parts out, and just boiled that down with a bit of birch syrup and hog seed, and reduced that till it got thick, and added a tiny bit of chestnut flour, and then sprinkled it with some elderflowers. And we always bring out the best things when we're together with others, don't we? We hoard them, and then when it's the best time, we bring out the sugars and we bring out the...
Yeah, well, I definitely haven't had many desserts since I've been on the Biome project, so yeah, this is a treat. And thank you for sharing this sauce with me.
And thank you for sharing this amazing tofu.
No, not at all.
Yeah, let's dig in.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to also mention there's also a beefsteak fungus pickled.
Oh yeah.
Underneath there's a beefsteak fungus pickled with blackberry vinegar.
There's got to be a mushroom hidden in there somewhere.
Yeah.
No.
Everything in it. This is just relying on mostly just the fruit.
And it's nice to be sensitised to that sweetness, isn't it? All sorts of things that I don't normally find sweet, I am detecting as sweet.
Because if we were stuck on sugars in the modern world, this would actually be quite bitter or sour. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you can taste the caramel flavours coming out even first.
Put a tiny bit in there. That's amazing.
That's good. I have to limit myself on that acorn stuff though, because I could just gorge on that. probably put on weight. Although I would run out of acorns before I put on weight.
Yeah.
That's a good resource.
No, it's beautiful.
Nice bird song here.
You may not have had all these modern appliances, but I think they probably would have eaten very similar though, considering we can forage all this already and do all of this.
Yeah, it would have just been even more time consuming, wouldn't it? And that's what strikes you. I mean, I think,
But then you would have had people doing the foraging, people doing the processing.
Yeah, there would have been a division of labour, I guess. But a lot of time would have been dedicated. I mean, to the basic things: gathering food, shelter, preserving food, and I always think that would have led to different expectations, and satisfaction would have been a very good thing. I sort of keep reflecting that if you had a full belly, you're warm, you're dry, you're with your family or your tribe, you would probably feel very satisfied, because that would be a win. That's an achievement, isn't it? You've worked hard for that. But those are things that are just, or maybe not the companionship, but those are just given in the modern world. It's easy to eat well and it's easy to be.
You say that, but most of the stuff that we eat in the supermarket is heavily processed and terrible now.
Okay, it's good to have the perception of eating well. No, you're right, but it's not hard to fill your belly. And so satisfaction has to be sought elsewhere, which I think can be very complicated.
Yeah, that's what I always find with this. You're doing it a second time. I just find myself even more deeply kind of connected to the land. Like even things that we forage on a daily basis, you just kind of it really grounds you.
Yeah.
When you realise that I can't actually touch the supermarket shelf, even though I don't anyway really that often. It's kind of, even though it's just even not being able to go to the farm shop and pick up some things. It really brings that down to being able to experiment and do things with all this that's around us, and realise that we've actually got so many opportunities to make something delicious.
Yeah. And it does take that reliance to dig deeper, doesn't it? I mean, I've certainly found there's so many things that I've been teaching about for years and years, and maybe have tried a few times, but just engaging with it in a totally different level. I mean, like acorns. I mean, I must have talked to thousands of people about leaching acorns, but how many times did I actually do it for the Wild Biome project?
Exactly.
You count on one hand.
I think I did it once before the Wild Biome project, and that was hot leaching it.
Yeah, exactly. And and then suddenly there you are, and it becomes part of your daily routine. And that's another great thing, is it just the repetition of it. It's no longer a novelty, it's no longer something that is a special thing. It's become part of your daily routine, which I think normalising it is a great thing.
That's kind of what we need in the modern world as well, normalising that kind of association with nature, and then hopefully that would help people to start saving the landscape that's around us that we're really losing at a fast rate.
Yeah, it's just very hard pulling away from the lure of convenience and all the things that we love to eat that we know we shouldn't eat. And I think that's the advantage we have on this project, isn't it? That we are given that discipline, or we take on that discipline, and that takes you to a place that you want to be, but previously haven't been able to reach. Which I suppose is the same with many things.
But honestly, there's a simple word that we're all guilty of, is that when we do have the opportunity to indulge in that convenience, we just get lazy.
Yeah.
And we just
we do.
We end up having slowly build it back in, and you start having more and more, and then you have less of wild food, and before you know it, you're not.
Yeah. And it all just circles back to the fact that we're just not designed as humans to live in this environment, are we? No. I mean, it's all the things that we crave. They serve an ancient purpose, but now it's
become commercialised and monetised.
Yeah, but those things that kept us alive, this seeking out of sugar and sweet things and calories, and our laziness were the things that kept us alive, and now they're killing us. Which is why we're all fat and lazy and dissatisfied.
Speak for yourself.
That's true. No, that's true. I can't accuse you of being fat or dissatisfied, maybe, or lazy.
This is a deception. You've been on it for a month now.
I've lost. What have I lost?
How much have you lost?
Stone and a half.
Gosh, really?
Yeah.
I only lost 2 kilos in the first month.
Did you?
Yeah, last time I lost about 6 kilos in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, last time I lost 2.5 stone over the 3 months. Yeah, this time I've lost 1.5 stone and I've actually stopped losing weight, which actually can only really be my body adjusting, which is fascinating.
My body adjusting and also making sure that we actually have the right calories this time, because I think last time we did suffer a case of not knowing exactly how much we were eating, and we were often under eating.
Yeah, it's true, but I haven't changed my diet much over the last month and a half, and so I'm interested that I was losing weight rapidly and now I've sort of levelled off, because I don't think I've upped my calories
but
a lot.
You also probably lost winter weight and your body kind of balanced to its natural state, because they're very clever things and they can take a lot, but then when you do too much to it, then obviously it goes off balance. But it always, if we're eating normally and eating healthily, it just resets back to its natural state. And I think I went into the wild...
Again, speak for yourself. Mine doesn't. Mine stays flat.
You're fine.
I don't know. Sorry, carry on.
Well, that's eating healthily and naturally.
Yeah, well, that is it. That is the key. That's the key.
But I think it's time to finish a few more chores and relax for the night, and it's really lovely to see you after such a while.
Yeah, well, thank you for being so hospitable.
Yes. That's one thing we lack in the modern world as well, is having proper hugs.
Enough hugs, yeah.
So if you'd like to carry on and follow everything that's going on with the wild biome, don't forget to like, subscribe and follow the videos. This was just a simple short one with Michael since he came down for a night to come and visit, and I wanted to get some of them on the videos because he's been doing some interesting things, such as eating fox, or eating ferret. But no, he's got to drive to Manchester tomorrow and I've got to go somewhere, so this is probably all the footage we're going to get. We did want to do caddisfly larvae, but I don't know if the larvae, we might try it in the morning, and if we do I'll add a little clip to this. But otherwise, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, good to see you.